Picture a mountain patiently waiting. Then, in a single breath of genius, the mountain is hollowed, sculpted, reborn. And what remains is not ruin, but a cathedral of stone carved from the sky downward. Today at Curious Minds, we descend paradoxically, maybe from the summit, down into the Kailasa Temple of Ellora. Now, this isn't just some ancient structure, it's a 1,200-year-old monolith that, well, frankly, it challenges nearly everything we thought we knew about ancient engineering and human capabilities. Our mission in this deep dive is really to unpack the mysteries surrounding this astonishing place. We'll be drawing insights from, well, a formidable stack of sources, articles, research papers, some really fascinating documentaries, and even, some lively online discussions. We're here to try and extract the most important nuggets of knowledge and leave you not just well-informed, but maybe a little awestruck.
It really is an incredible journey we're taking here. It's into human ingenuity, but also, in some ways, it's just this enduring enigma. We'll explore the monumental scale, the construction methods, which are almost unbelievable, really, and the profound questions this temple poses to our whole understanding of history. Get ready to have your perceptions of ancient builders, well, completely reshaped.
Okay, so let's unpack this core uniqueness right from the start. When we talk about the Kailasa Temple, you might picture, a typical temple built brick by brick, maybe stone block by stone block. But that's not it at all. This temple is what they call a cutout monolith. It's carved out of a single massive piece of solid rock, a mountain, actually, that makes it the world's largest monolithic structure.
Right. It's the exact opposite of traditional construction.
Yeah, like reverse 3D printing, subtracting perfection right out of a mountain.
And that's such a crucial distinction because it profoundly impacts every single aspect of its creation. What's truly striking, I think, is the sheer scale of this subtraction. We're talking about a structure that spans approximately 276 feet in length, 154 feet wide, and it rises to a height of 107 feet. That's at its highest point over the sanctuary.
Wow. So to give people a sense of that.
Well, it's more than twice the footprint of the Parthenon in Athens.
Huh.
Just imagine excavating something of that magnitude directly from solid, unforgiving rock.
And it's not just big, right? It's visually breathtaking. The entire structure was meticulously carved to look like a grand chariot, almost like it's moving. And at its base, there are these life-sized elephant statues, along with other mythical beasts, all carved directly from the same living rock. It creates this incredible illusion that they are supporting the entire colossal structure above them.
It's a testament to both immense artistic vision and an almost unimaginable feat of engineering.
Yeah, imagine standing there, totally dwarfed by these elephant statues, and knowing they aren't actually holding up the temple, but they're part of the original mountain itself. That's a truly mind-bending illusion.
It really is. And delving deeper into how they built it, this top-down carving method is absolutely critical to understanding the challenge they faced. The carvers didn't start at the bottom and build up, like you'd expect. They began at the very top of the original rock plateau and excavated downward, meticulously shaping the temple as they went. Sort of like a sculptor carving a statue from a block of marble.
Okay, so top down, does that actually imply for the process?
It means there was absolutely zero room for error. Think about it. One misstroke, one miscalculation, you could just patch it up or replace a block. It would literally ruin centuries of work. There's no way to glue mistakes back onto a mountain.
Right, you can't just hit undo.
Exactly. So the entire temple, from its highest spire down to its deepest channels, including all the intricate pathways and courtyards, it had to be fully planned and conceptualized in 3 dimensions before they even started carving. Because no external or connecting rocks were used, everything was perfectly sculpted from that one single mountain. Like you said, if the printhead slips, your masterpiece is just rubble.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting, and maybe a little baffling for me at least. We're talking about the sheer volume of rock that had to be removed to create this huge space. Estimates vary quite a bit among the sources, ranging from a staggering 200,000 tons up to 400,000 tons of basalt.
And some sources, delving into more speculative calculations, they even push that estimate much higher. Some claim up to 4 million tons of rock were scooped out.
4 million tons? That's astronomical.
It is, and it immediately begs the question, where did all that rock go? Archaeological evidence just shows no signs of a massive quarry dump or, debris piles nearby that would correspond to such an enormous excavation.
Which you'd expect, right? For any big construction site.
Absolutely. It's as if millions of tons of basalt simply vanished without a trace. That's highly unusual for a project of this scale. Typically, ancient construction sites leave behind these telltale mountains of discarded material. Its absence here is a really significant puzzle.
And the historical timeline only makes the mystery deeper. Royal records seem to credit King Krishna I of the Rashtrakuta dynasty. He reigned from around 756 to 773 CE. These records suggest an astonishingly short 18-year build time, at least for the main structure.
Right, 18 years. So let's just do some quick excavation math here to really grasp the implications. If we take that conservative estimate, say 400,000 tons removed in 18 years, that averages out to about 22,222 tons of rock removed every single year.
Okay, break that down further.
Well, if they worked, say, 12-hour days, that's roughly 5 tons of rock removed every single hour, nonstop. Even if they worked 247 ceaselessly, it's still 2.5 tons per hour.
5 tons an hour with ancient tools.
Exactly. These numbers are incredibly challenging for even modern heavy machinery to match, let alone ancient tools. To put it another way, if you assume maybe 400 laborers were involved, each person would have had to clear roughly 500 kilograms, like half a ton, of basalt daily for 18 years straight.
That's just Herculean. It seems almost impossible.
It does stretch the imagination.
Of course, our sources do present various counter-arguments and explanations for this seemingly impossible feat. Some mainstream scholars argue that ancient stoneworking was this highly skilled, incredibly time-consuming trade, often spanning multiple generations within a family or guild. They suggest that what seems fast to us might have just been the result of, unparalleled dedication and a highly specialized workforce.
That's one line of thought. Others propose that maybe, with a dedicated workforce of around 250 to 400 laborers, the temple could conceivably have been completed within maybe 5 or 6 years, something like 5.5 years is mentioned, especially if the architects already had detailed blueprints from similar, albeit smaller, temples, like the Virupaksha temple at Pattadakal.
Ah, so they weren't starting completely from scratch. They might have just scaled up existing designs.
That's the theory. It posits they simply scaled up proven designs, which would make the planning process much more efficient, potentially.
Okay. But then there's still the question of the tools they use.
Exactly. Basalt is a very hard igneous rock. It's significantly tougher than common granite or marble. And while chisel marks do exist in various places, you have critics and engineers who argue that the astonishing precision, the depth of the excavation, the intricate details you find everywhere, they make it seem, quote, impossible to achieve with only basic hammers and chisels, even the common steel tools they had back then.
So the debate is really about whether the known tools of the 8th century CE could truly achieve that level of intricacy and precision on such hard rock, especially at that speed and scale.
Precisely. It's a major point of contention.
Which leads us right to the heart of it. What does this all mean for the builder's knowledge and capabilities? I mean, when you look at the temple's incredible symmetry, the seamless transitions between sections, these intricate details, they almost rival what we'd expect from laser cuts today. It strongly suggests highly advanced mathematical and architectural knowledge was not just present, but mastered.
Oh, absolutely. What's truly fascinating is the almost unbelievable level of complex pre-planning that must have gone into this. The design included incredibly sophisticated features like mortise and tenon joints. Think of them like interlocking pegs and holes, but carved directly into the solid rock itself.
So they were designed to fit together perfectly, even though they were never separate pieces.
Exactly. And beyond that, there are intricate drainage channels for water management, rain harvesting gutters to collect and divert water, hidden stairwells, secret peepholes for observation, elaborate balconies connecting multiple levels, all of it seamlessly planned and carved from that single rock. No assembly, no joining pieces, just this continuous act of removal and refinement.
That level of foresight is just wow. And this sophistication extends even deeper, right, into the design principles. Our sources highlight what they call fractal, acoustic, and astronomic design. Let's start with fractal design. The temple apparently exhibits textbook fractal geometry. What does that mean? Repeating self-similar motifs that scale from, a tiny doorway up to the grandest spire, hierarchical structure.
That's the idea. Computational analysis has even shown its fractal dimensions range from 1.6 to 1.9.
Okay, for those of us who aren't mathematicians, does that mean they knew about fractal geometry back then, or could it just be, an intuitive artistic choice that happens to look fractal?
Well, that's a profound question, and honestly, it's something scholars actively debate. On one hand, some argue these precise fractal patterns are far too consistent to be purely accidental. They suggest an intentional, maybe intuitive understanding of sacred geometry or sophisticated math we don't fully grasp today. On the other hand, Some theories propose these patterns could arise organically from certain carving methods or artistic traditions, artisans naturally repeating successful patterns at different scales. But regardless of why, the existence of such clear fractal dimensions in an ancient structure carved from solid rock is undeniably remarkable.
Okay, very interesting. Then there's the acoustic design. The temple's echoes are said to amplify Vedic chants at specific frequencies, creating a unique sonic environment.
Yes, and this leads to some intriguing, though speculative theories. While it's highly debated and largely unproven by mainstream archaeology, some suggest ancient builders might have possessed an understanding of advanced sonic properties, even proposing concepts like sonic stone softening know-how.
Whoa, like using sound to make the rock easier to carve?
That's the controversial idea. Some sources mention 528 Hz specifically as a healing frequency, supposedly enhanced by the temple's structure. It sparks a lot of modern discussion, but it's crucial to stress this remains a highly controversial and unproven theory.
Right, fascinating, but maybe bordering on fringe science.
Precisely. While the idea of sound-softening stone lacks scientific consensus, the temple's undeniable acoustic properties for enhancing chanting are remarkable. It definitely speaks to a deep understanding of resonance and architectural acoustics, whether or not it involved actually manipulating the material itself.
Okay, and the third aspect, astronomic design.
Right. The main gate faces perfectly west. That shows incredibly precise cardinal alignment, suggesting a profound astronomical understanding and a deliberate connection to celestial movements. And what's even more intriguing is that the temple is supposedly visible from the air, much like the Nazca lines in Peru. Apparently, an X-mark aerial view shows up on Google Earth, formed by a circular design studded with 4 lions.
An X marks the spot from the sky. Why would they do that?
Well, speculation ranges from it being a signal for aerial observers, though who that would be is another question, or perhaps a grand offering to celestial deities.
So when you put all these sophisticated design elements together, the fractals, the acoustics, the astronomy, the sheer engineering, it really forces us to confront how this was achieved. While some sources, maybe the more fringe ones, speculate about lost high-tech civilizations or even, extraterrestrial help.
Yeah, those ideas are out there.
Mainstream scholars generally point back to advanced planning and the incredible, maybe almost superhuman capabilities of ancient human craftsmanship.
Right. They acknowledge the marvel without resorting to unproven theories. The focus is on sheer dedication, multi-generational knowledge transfer, incredible skill.
It's an important distinction to make, isn't it? Mainstream archaeology might not have all the answers, but it tends to lean towards what we can potentially prove with existing evidence.
Exactly. And the more grounded theories suggest a highly refined engineering breakdown, like Step 1, map the entire temple in chalk on the plateau surface. Step 2, remove the summit rock in terraced layers, chiseling inward to define the outer walls and courtyards. Then Step 3, start the intricate carving the elephants, pillars, bridges, that soaring 32-meter spire, all working downward and outward at the same time.
Wow, coordinating all that.
And finally, Step 4, the finishing touches, polishing, painting, and importantly, creating the myths and legends around its creation. This methodical approach, while incredibly challenging, at least offers a plausible framework.
It paints a picture of intense, highly coordinated effort. Going back to the numbers, even with 400 laborers, each person clearing 500 kilos of basalt daily for 18 years. And you mentioned there's no record of slave labor.
No, the evidence seems to point instead to highly organized guilds, specialized artisans, master planners, water engineers, sculptors, people dedicating their entire lives, maybe even across generations, to this one monumental task.
That kind of dedication is hard to fathom today.
It really is. And the Kailasa Temple isn't just a feat of engineering, it's also wrapped in these rich local legends. There's a popular Marathi tale about an architect named Kokasa who supposedly carved the shikara, the main spire, in just 1 week.
1 week? How?
Well, the legend says it was a miraculous feat to fulfill a queen's vow, allowing her to break a long fast. These stories just highlight the awe and mystery that even people back then associated with its construction.
And its resilience is just as legendary, right? You mentioned its durability.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm.
The 17th century Mughal Emperor Aurangzeb, who was known for destroying temples, actually ordered Kailasa's demolition. Picture this. 1,000 workers toiled for 3 long years, using the best tools they had.
All right.
They could only inflict minimal damage. Broke a few statues here and there, but eventually they just gave up. The structure itself was basically unharmed.
That's incredible. Basalt versus an emperor's army?
Yeah, it echoes similar failed destruction attempts, like the effort to demolish Menkar's pyramid in Egypt. Basalt, it seems, is incredibly tough.
So this extraordinary resistance, the construction mystery, it puts Kailasa alongside other global puzzles, doesn't it?
It really does. It fits into this pattern of global megalithic enigmas that challenge our conventional timelines and construction ideas. You think of the Giza pyramids, Pumapunku in Bolivia with its precise stonework, Gunung Padang in Indonesia, Sigiriya in Sri Lanka, Makine in Greece, Kerma in Sudan, the Senegambian stone circles, the Nuragi in Sardinia. All these sites, including Kailasa, push the boundaries of what we thought ancient people were capable of. They force us to reconsider our assumptions about past technology and organization.
Okay, so after diving into all this, what are the key questions that really remain open, the big unknowns?
Well, first, there's still that colossal mystery of the vanished rock.
Mhm.
Seriously, where did potentially millions of tons of basalt go? It's baffling. Second, the fractal geometry. Was it intuitive art? Was it sacred math? Was it deliberate advanced engineering? Or something else entirely? We don't know for sure. Third, that idea acoustic resonance softening stone. Is that a modern myth inspired by physics? Or could there be some lost ancient technique there? Highly speculative, but the question lingers.
And the biggest one, perhaps?
Maybe. If such advanced knowledge and techniques, whether mathematical, architectural, maybe even sonic, existed, when and why were they apparently lost? Why do we only see fragments like Kailasa? These are the enduring puzzles. Feels like every corridor there echoes with answers we haven't quite learned how to phrase the questions for yet.
Indeed. Maybe the mountain still holds them, somewhere in the silence between those ancient hammer blows. The Kailasa Temple. It really is less a temple and more a conversation across millennia, isn't it? Its stone speaks not just of devotion, but of human hands that perhaps measured planets, chanted geometry, and left behind this enigma that no earthquake, no conquering army could truly erase. It really forces us to wonder, what other wonders lie hidden, maybe even in plain sight, just waiting for us to learn how to ask the right questions? Or perhaps waiting for us to rediscover the forgotten knowledge held within their very stones. Thank you for being on this trip with us. Stay curious, stay grounded, and stay tuned for the next one.